Ja nyt jatketaan ankkapiirtäjä Don Rosan kanssa, joka oli vieraanamme noin 28. Silloin keskusteltiin vähän siitä, että Don Rosa on enemmän tarinankertoja kuin piirtäjä. Hän ei itse asiassa edes tykkää piirtämisestä, mutta hänellä on hyvin omalaatuinen piirrostyyli. Mr. Rosa, you have a very distinctive style which draws obviously comparisons to, for example, Karl Barks and then Mad Magazine, Flash Gordon.
Right.
How do you think yourself that your style has developed to be so unique?
Well, I never. Some people say it's like underground art, and I drew this poorly even before I saw people like Robert Crumb. But I think it's the thing is people like Robert Crumb also. He's an underground cartoonist. We both entertained ourselves when we were children by doing comics, just for our own amusement, and we never tried to develop a art style that was pleasing to an art director. We just tried to make it entertaining, and I think that's. I mean, I look at my own artwork and I see it's so stiff and detailed and scratchy compared to all the beautiful, cute Disney artwork in the same issue, and I wonder why fans seem to like that so much. And my theory is that. People look at that and they say, for somebody to put so much work into such bad artwork, they must really be enjoying themselves. And then I think the reader enjoys themselves also. But like we were talking about, I'm not trying to make artwork that's easy and that I can complete efficiently and quickly. Or to be pleasing to an art director. I'm just trying to entertain comic fans. So I just cram as much as I can into each panel. It's not attractive to the editors, but I think the readers appreciate it.
Don Rosa sanoi, että hän jo nuorena poikana pyrki vain viihdyttämään itseään piirtämällä sarjakuvia, eikä hän koskaan ajatellut sitä, että pitäisi miellyttää muita ihmisiä tai artdirektoreja. Tämä oli enemmänkin tällaista underground-taidetta, ja hän haluaa kertoa tarinoita ja mahduttaa kuvaan niin paljon kuin mahdollista. Se on hänelle tärkeää. Hän kokee, että ihmiset viihtyvät sitten sitä kautta. Joskus hän itse asiassa ihmettelee, minkä takia ihmiset pitävät hänen piirroksistaan, koska hän ei itse pidä niitä niin ihmeellisinä. Maybe the hardcore duck fans know your work, The Quest of Kalevala, joka suomeksi on siis Sammon salaisuus, which is based on the Finnish national epic. How did you become familiar with the story in the first place?
Well, I wasn't very familiar with it until I started visiting Finland, about 15 years ago. And each time I'd come, I'd learn a little bit more about how important this is to the Finnish culture. But then finally, on one particular trip about 10 years ago, one fan finally summed it up, and they said, if you combine the two most popular aspects of Finnish culture, which is the Kalevala and Aku Ankka, into one story, you'd be elected president. And I took him seriously, and I spent a lot of time, even made some extra trips over here on research, even in the Kalevala in the National Archives. They showed me some of the original handwritten pages, and but I finally came up with a story based on just a small part of the Kalevala, and it seemed to go over pretty well when they published that. I guess it's been about 10 years ago. That was a very much fun and quite successful.
Don Rosa kertoi siinä, että hän on tehnyt ankkatarinan Sammon salaisuus, jossa roopeankka metsästää kuuluisa Sampoa Kalevalasta ja sanoi, että tutustui Kalevala-tarinaan ensimmäistä kertaa vierailtua Suomessa noin 15 vuotta sitten, ja eräs suomalainen ankkafani jo silloin ehdotti hänelle, että sinun pitäisi ehdottomasti yhdistää kaksi Suomen suosituinta kirjallista teosta, jotka ovat Kalevala ja sitten tai suosittua lukemista, jota olet Kalevala ja Aku Ankka, sinut valittaisiin presidentiksi, ja Don Rosa nauroi, että aika suosittu siitä sitten loppujen lopuksi tulikin. You haven't drawn any new published material since 2005, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong.
So. No, that's right.
Have we seen the last Uncle Scrooge story created by Don Rosa, or will we maybe someday see more?
I think you may have seen the last one. I was getting, the fans probably noticed I was getting slower and slower. I started out slow and then went downhill from there. Because as the years went on, my eyesight was, you can probably tell how thick my glasses are. I've had very poor eyes ever since I was a very little kid, and it was getting more and more tedious to draw all that tiny detail that I put in the stories until as of like in 2005 or 2006 when I did the last story, I was down to actually doing it without my glasses and just this close to the paper, which makes it even more tedious. So I was sort of pausing and slacking off, and then last March, this all hit home much more seriously. I suffered a detached retina in this eye, which involves a very delicate surgery, and surgery really isn't that serious, but the recuperation is miserable. I don't know if people know much about. I'd never heard of a detached retina, but I learned about one real quick. Anyway, it did not reattach properly, so I'm lost most of the vision in this eye, and so it's even more difficult to do that detailed art now. I can still do large drawings. I can see pretty well, but I think so I'll continue doing stories and writing texts for people publishing Don Rosa collections, but I may have done the last long story that involves all that detailed panel by panel artwork.
Don Rosa sanoi, että vuoden 2005 jälkeen häneltä ei tosiaan ole uutta materiaalia ilmestynyt, ja sanoi, että se on erityisesti hänen huonon näkönsä takia hänen piirtämisensä ja tarinoiden tekemisensä on hidastunut niin paljon, ja lisäksi hän joutui silmäleikkaukseen ja siitä toipuminen on kestänyt kauan, ja tämän takia uusia tarinoita tuskin enää nähdään. Don Rosa voi nähdä tänä viikonloppuna pääkaupungisella kauppakeskuksissa ja huomenna Turussa. Thank you very much for the visit.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure.